I'm going to take a look at some of the trig problems that we did in class on Thursday. And I'll do one from each side of that sheet. And we'll start off with number 3. So number 3, you're actually asked to find 3 different values. You need to find one of the angles, that's z. There. Find one of the sides, x. And you also have to find the other side, the hypotenuse. And I'm going to start with the angle first, since that's probably the easiest. So to find angle Z, I know that I have 90 degrees where the right angle is, 40 degrees over here with this angle, and the last angle that's missing is the angle up at the top, angle Z. I know that they all have to add up to 180 degrees, so 40 plus 90 plus something has to equal 180. So I know that Z has to equal 50 degrees. So that's done. I have a lot of options for finding X and for finding Y. I'll look for X first. Right there in the triangle. And to find X, I am going to use 40 degrees. I could have used 50, but I'm just choosing to use 40. And I mark the angle that I am interested in looking at, and then I identify based on that angle which is the hypotenuse, which is the opposite, and which are the adjacent sides of the triangle. So Y represents the hypotenuse. 8 is opposite of 40 degrees, and X is adjacent to 40 degrees. Because I've got 8, the opposite side, and I'm looking for X, the adjacent side, I am going to be using the tangent ratio. So the tangent of 40 degrees equals 8 over X, where tangent is opposite side over the adjacent side. I'm going to write this as a proportion, so I'm putting 1 under the tangent of 40 degrees, and then I'll do some cross multiplying. And X times the tangent of 40 is X and 40. Then I'm going to divide both sides by the tangent of 40, so 8 divided by tangent of 40 will leave me with X alone on the right-hand side. And then that will just go into my calculator. Now my calculator, I have to figure out what the tangent is first, and then I'll be able to multiply it times 8. In your calculator, you may be able to do it all in line, 8 divided by. So let's see, 40 degrees, I need the tangent of that, so it's 8.83909, and I'm going to divide that into 8. So 8 divided by 0.839. 8 divided by 0.8. 0.839 was about 9.5 or 9.5. Now there's nothing on the instructions that tells me where to round, and I'm just going to choose to round to the nearest tenth. So X is 9.5. Now that I've found X, I can find Y. And I really have a number of ways that I can do that. That'd be pretty easy. The problem with the Pythagorean theorem is that I have rounded the 9.5, so there's an error, an acceptable error, but nonetheless an error due to rounding. So I think I'm not going to choose to use the Pythagorean theorem. I'm going to choose to use the numbers that I was given with. I'm given the problem to begin with. So I'm going to use the 8 and the 40. And if I'm going to use 8, that's the opposite side, and I'm looking for now Y, which is the hypotenuse. So if I'm comparing opposite and hypotenuse, I'm now thinking about sine. So I'm going to use the sine ratio, which is comparing the opposite to the hypotenuse. Now make sure that when you're writing these ratios that it's not just sine. Sine doesn't mean anything. Sine of some angle. So make sure you're including the angle when you're writing your proportion. Sine of 40 equals 8 over y. And then I'll cross multiply. So y times the sine of 40 degrees equals 8. And then I'll divide both sides by the sine of 40. So y will equal 8 divided by the sine of 40. Back to my calculator. 40 degrees. I need the sine of that. 0.64278. So 0.6428. 0.6428. 8 divided by 0.6428 equals 12.445. And once again, I'll round to the nearest tenth. 12.4. Pick one from the back. The one I think I will do on the back is one that's tipped in a different direction. Maybe we'll look at number 7 in the next video.